Well, 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 thank you for joining me today here on Wingman Nation, where we're always trying to help folks make the best decisions possible when buying or selling an RV. Decisions that will help you save thousands of dollars and avoid being ripped off. If you have not yet been to my website of RV dealers I trust, you can find them by checking out the QR code right down here in the corner of the video. You can also click on the description of this video and find the link down below. So, if you are open to learning about the workings of how America's largest and I think most respected consignment RV dealership works, I think you're going to learn a lot in the next few minutes. You see, not all RV dealers handle consignments the same way. Sadly, too many of those dealers, I think, are little more than just a place to park your RV on their lot and then cross your fingers, hope that some buyer will take it off your hands. And that's the truth. Another truth about today's RV sellers, a lot of them are people who bought their RV during the pandemic. They not only paid too much, but they many of them, almost put down no money with a very, very long loan and small payments. The people who did that and now want to sell their RV, they're learning what their mistake is going to cost them. And in some cases, it is a lot. So that's the way we begin part 2 of my interview with Scott Stonehill of PPL Motorhomes. It's just a question that I felt needed to be brought up. I would like to bring up something that it's not a positive subject, but it's a reality, and this is about the truth. This channel is. Aren't you seeing a lot of these sellers that are upside down? They owe more than the RV is worth, and when they sell their unit, and that's another reason if their loan balance is not going to go down, but their value of their RV is going down as it gets more months and months on it. Having that discussion, sometimes people have to write a check to get rid of their RV, and you're the bearer of bad news, but it's not you. You're just the messenger. It's the position that some other dealer may have put them in.
Well, here's the thing. You and I are both very similar in the fact that we're responsible for our own actions, right? We're responsible for our own actions. I go buy a car and I put nothing down on the car and I take out a loan for the full amount. I can promise you in a year or two that car is worth less than what I owe. Okay. Yeah. That's no different. If I go buy a depreciating asset, if I don't put a significant amount of money down up front, I'm going to be behind on that unit in a very short order, right? Because depreciation happens. And the fact that your loan principal balance doesn't come down as fast as the value of the RV, if you just continue to make the regular payment and you took out a longer term, that's just the nature of the math. And yes, there are a lot of people out there, and a lot of people will say, well, my dealer put me in this situation. We put ourselves in those situations because we want to go camping and we're more interested in the payment than we are about what the investment needs to be up front in order for us to be in a positive equity situation moving forward.
Right.
And, I think that's the thing that most people, and I try to explain on the sales side of it, I try to explain to people, I typically ask you for 25 to 35% down up front. What does that do? It's going to put you in an equity position from the get-go. You're going to be in an equity position because when you think about what it costs to buy an RV and the taxes that go into it, title, license, I look at tax, title, license as a totally separate piece. That you got to pay cash for. And then the money you're putting towards the unit is separate from the tax, title, license. Most people don't think that way. They look at the bottom line. Let's say they're buying something and a tax, title, license out the door at $50,000. I put $5,000 down because that's 10%. I owe 45. Now I've got a loan for 45. But what's my RV really worth? Once you bax the taxes out, what you paid for that RV was probably closer to 41, 42,000 price wise. But people remember 50 because that was the out the door number.
Right.
And those taxes, once they're paid, they're gone. You don't recoup taxes, right? So the only asset that's left is the RV.
And it's going down in value. I mean, and that's something else. Values. What is something worth? the thing is with a car, most cars you can look at the blue book and it'll tell you a range of what they're worth. But an RV, now I know you may be able to do something similar, except there's a huge difference, I believe, in an RV that somebody uses maybe 5 or 6 weekends a year versus someone else that has the same RV and they're living in it. They've been living in it for 2 years, 24/7. And the value. So you've got to look at everything, not just what the price is, but you've got to look at the condition. That leads me to your website. Y'all do inspections. You inspect everything, but you do inspect the big things, and you really try to give the best pictures possible, the most accurate description possible, so people aren't surprised when they drive from wherever, Kansas to Oklahoma City, to buy their RV.
It's funny because we had someone fly from Oregon to pick up a motorhome in Cleburne just a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they did such a good job via FaceTime, via video, whatever way we could represent that particular motorhome for that buyer, to let them know exactly the condition that they were getting before they flew all that way to pick that unit up. It's tough to buy a one-way airline ticket and do that on a leap of faith, basically on something that you haven't even seen yet. Now, we do the very best we can to represent everything that's right with that unit, but also everything that's flawed with that unit. Now, most of those flaws are cosmetic flaws, but with any used item, it's going to be that way. There's going to be some problems cosmetically with things. Maybe there's a little wrinkle in the bumper on the back where they backed into a post. Maybe there's a scratch on the front hood where something came. We show all that stuff, whether it's via FaceTime or on video. We're going to make sure that they know about those things before they arrive. We're going to get good photos of the tires so they can see the tire condition very closely. We're going to take pictures of the roof. We're going to do videos on the inside. We're going to do all of those things so that when they fly all the way from wherever, and this particular customer came from Oregon, that they are getting exactly what we represented to them. We owe that to them and the seller.
So if I find a unit that I'm interested in, I'm on your website, PPL's website, and I'm going, I really, really like that one. You're telling me it's possible for a salesperson to go out and do a FaceTime with me and walk me through, hey, hang on, go back in the bathroom again, show me and they'll actually do that?
Yes, we do that all the time. That's almost a standard practice now, especially in this day and age with the technology. People are able to shop now across the country for these things. And it's amazing. It's not just the higher dollar motorhomes that they're traveling to get now. We're seeing people drive 1,500 miles to pick up a travel trailer that we had on our lot, because that was the exact make, model, floor plan that they were looking for. And we had the one in the best condition at the best price. And they were willing to drive 1,500 miles and then make a little mini vacation pulling it back, right? And stop off at places and go camping.
My wife is she loves going to resale shops. She's got stuff that, she takes to a resale shop, and then she finds something. And I was talking about PPL and the other day with her, and she says, that's kind of like a resale shop. And she said, but at a resale shop, you may, a Louis Vuitton suitcase may be $4,000 if you go to a Louis Vuitton store. But if you go to a resale shop, and you can find one that may have a nick in it or a scratch or something, a tear in the inside or something, but instead of $4,000, it's way cheaper. And so I think that RV buyers, the person wanting to buy a used RV, is hoping to buy that $4,000 Louis Vuitton bag, that $50,000 RV for 25 grand. Ain't gonna happen. I mean, because it's a used RV, and they come in all different conditions, but the principle is the same. They're saving money by buying a used RV, and that when they sell it, they're going to save money because they don't have to experience the depreciation that came from the original owner that they experienced.
That's correct. That is correct. And again, I love this business. I've been in this business for over 34 years. PPL does this particular business as far as the consignments. They do this particular business better than anybody out there. And that's why we've been so successful over all these years, because you can't be in business for 52 years and be as successful as we are without doing things right. And I think we represent both the seller and the buyer equally well in these transactions, because that's really the right way to do business. I don't want anyone to travel hundreds of miles across the country to come and buy something and be disappointed when they show up that we missed showing them something on that RV. And I don't want to have a seller disappointed in us because we did that, because that can happen too. Because the minute we have a deal on a unit, we report that to the seller that, hey, we have a contract, somebody has bought it. Site, obviously until they get here, it's not completed, but we have a contract and they're going to purchase it. And then we have to call that seller back and say, I'm sorry, but once they got here, they were disappointed because it had this scratch, or it had this flaw, or it had this thing that they weren't aware of. Well, that's on us because we didn't disclose it properly.
Right.
And so, then two people are disappointed in us. So we've got to do a really good job of representing both sides of the equation.
No, I think it's important for people to understand that, yes, buying, selling consignments is PPL's bread and butter. That's your deal. But when you have a buyer that says, you know what, I don't like the such and such, or this isn't working right, or I don't know what it is, but if a buyer says, I really wish they put new batteries in it, or whatever the thing is, you have a parts store and you're able to make some repairs on RVs to make the RV more sellable, if you will. And that's a side business of PPL. So you can detail the RV, you can sell parts and make repairs to RVs. All those are smaller bits of business to your bread and butter, which is consignment sales. Does that make sense?
Sure. That does make sense. And when our sellers bring a unit in, sometimes it needs to be cleaned up. Sometimes there's some cosmetic things that we make suggestions that maybe if they fixed a couple of things on this unit, it would make it more sellable. It's up to the seller then to decide whether or not they want to, invest that money to make that happen. Most of them will, because they understand that it's going to help them bring even more money to the table. When the unit's in a little bit better condition, we take care of a cosmetic issue that it has. We go ahead and run it through our detail shop, clean it up nice, and continue to keep it detailed and clean throughout the time that it's on our lot. So that is a little bit of a side business for us. We do have full RV parts stores in all of our dealerships. We do have full RV service departments in all of our dealerships, and we deal with all the major manufacturers as far as getting parts. We also deal with major insurance companies to do insurance work for people that may need to have things happen. We've had people bring units in that we found out that have rubber roofs that are torn on the roof that even the seller wasn't aware of because they hadn't been up there. And when we inspect the damage, we find that there's some roof damage that needs to be repaired. So we work with them and their insurance companies to get those items addressed.
I want to kind of begin wrapping this up. And before I do, my suggestion is for anybody watching this video is to first off understand that I do some consulting work with PPL. I love these people. I have purchased from them for many, many years. When I owned my campground, I did business with them. I love PPL and the way they do business. And so, yes, would I like you to go buy an RV from them or sell your RV through them? Absolutely. But at least check them out, because resources, they have a resource on their website. In fact, Scott, we hadn't even talked about this. Down towards the bottom of your homepage, the people watching can go down and click on a link that says recent RV sales, and you can find out what the selling price of, talk about that, the selling price of things that happen right now.
Yes, we do have that available on our website, and you can go look there and see what we've sold recently and how much it's sold for. And it's great information for you, especially if you have a product like what has just recently sold, you can really get a good idea of what the market is bringing on that product. And that'll help you with your decision on whether or not you're ready to sell. Like I said, now is always the best time. There's always buyers out there. The demand is always, sometimes people say, well, the demand is down, sales are slow. There are always buyers out there for your RV. I will promise you that. Maybe I get 8 leads this week on your RV rather than 10. So is the demand down? Maybe, two leads, right? Mm-hmm. But we're going to work those 8 leads. We're going to work those 8 leads, and we're going to try to make a sale for you on your unit. And that's how we operate. Much of our business, and in any business today, is done through websites and done through internet leads. I guarantee you that 98% of the people that come into our stores have already been on our website before they ever show up. They know what they're coming to look for. Yep. And so my question to them when they walk in the building is, so what did you see on our website that you came to see today? and they're always going to tell me, because they're just not used to hearing that question. Yeah. They're used to hearing, welcome to PPL. We're glad you're here. What can we help you find today? My first question is, what did you see on our website that you came to look at?
It's true. It's absolutely true. Okay. So we're still a little ways from it, but you've got another big sale, like 5-day sale in September, mid-September, I believe. Why, if I was going to sell my RV, why is now a good time to contact you? Give me a benefit, if you would, to have you guys sell my RV. And this is the pitch, folks. This is a pitch. So we didn't talk about this before, but pitch them, Scott Stonehill.
Well, here's why. You know how many leads we had last month for buyers? It was thousands of leads. Do you know how many of those people we sold? 200 or 300, right? So how many of those people are still out there looking for something specific? And they may be looking for your specific RV. So we have all of those people that actually will put on our website or click on that, this is what I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. And we'll have them on there. And once your unit is put on our website, if it matches up with somebody who's looking for that same thing, they get an email.
Yep.
They get notified that unit is now in our inventory and they might be interested in looking at it.
But also, if I'm a seller, isn't there some kind of a benefit or a buyer for me to buy during the sale period? I mean, it's some incentive.
Oh, we push incentives out there all the time. We just did we had a promotion where we were giving away $500 of parts or service on a gift card. So if you want to come purchase right now, and I'm sure we'll have an incentive on the September promotion as well. So as a buyer, you want to come and do that. But as a seller, that doesn't cost you anything. That's a cost we incur because we're trying to draw more people to you.
Okay, for those buyers and sellers who are open-minded and honest about their own situation with their RV, I hope that straight talk, like you heard us going over, is of value. The main thing is to approach the buying and selling honestly, with your eyes wide open, your brain fully engaged. Too many people seem unable to separate reality from fantasy. There are very few RVs out there that are absolutely pristine. Most of them are in need of some repairs or a little bit of maintenance, sometimes a little bit more. Most buyers, while they say that they realize there may be some things that need a little TLC, it seems like a part of their brain believes that they want a perfect RV for a deeply discounted price. That makes sense? The reality is that it doesn't work like that. If you are buying a used RV, take your time. Consider getting an inspection. Be realistic. If you are selling your RV, you also need to be realistic and understand that it is a buyer's market. It is. And with so much inventory on the market, you'd best be reasonable with your price right from the get-go. That is, if you want to sell it. And PPL will help you do that. They will. Again, that is what Wingman Nation is all about. It's about helping you find honest people that will work hard to earn your business. If you missed the QR code we put up during the video, here it is, right down there, one last time. This will take you to the website of some of America's most trusted RV dealers I trust, like PPL Motorhomes. I hope you'll check them out and that you enjoyed today's video. And if you have a question about consignment RV sales, or you want to share an experience, drop it in the comments below, or shoot me an email at rvwingman@gmail.com. Put it all together, rvwingman@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.